The haters said I would never upload this video on time. And they were right. Honestly, great call by the haters. But it's better late than never, boys. We're combining the spring and winter anime seasons into one massive tier list with all the best new anime. And some of the worst anime as well, such as The Beginning After the End. This new isekai was supposed to be better than Mushoku Tensei. It was literally the chosen one, but then the trailer dropped and it went viral for having PowerPoint animation. And after watching it, I was more disappointed than Bonnie Blue's father. I made a video calling this the worst anime of 2025, and that's technically not true. There do exist anime that are objectively worse than this one, but if you factor in expectations and the potential of what this anime could have been, then that does in fact make it the worst disappointment of 2025. Unless your daughter just started doing OnlyFans. And if so, then drop the link in the comment section so I can review that next. The animation is so bad though that it sometimes breaks the immersion and ruins the plot, and just the overall absence of life and emotion in this anime is inexcusable, and the fact that the meat slap from Redo of Healer had more frames than entire fight scenes in T-Bait is also pretty embarrassing, but if the animation was the only problem, then this might have still been watchable. However, they're butchering the story as well. I just started reading the source material, and so far there hasn't been one single moment in the anime that did anything justice. Literally every scene is a downgrade. It's D tier. Witch Watch is an anime which I watched because, as you probably know, we like witches on this YouTube channel. My bio used to say, "Get witch or die trying." Basically, the main character is forced into being the familiar of a witch named Nico, and later they introduce Nimu, who's also a witch, but not the main witch. She's just a side witch. Always keep some witches on the side. Anyway, every time Nico uses magic, you know something bad's about to happen because all her spells have negative side effects. Like, she cast a spell to spawn herself an outfit she saw in a magazine, but because magazines are 2D, the whole backside of the outfit is invisible. More of a positive side effect, you could argue. Nico is one of the cutest anime characters ever, and I don't know if she's just extremely expressive or if that's because I'm watching this directly after T-Bait, but everything looks amazing, especially Nico. You Nico need to watch this shit because it's A tier. It could have been S, but the romance elements are kind of tedious and generic, and some of the characters aren't that interesting, but overall, it's amazing. The Children of Shiunji Family. This one's crazy, but before I rank it, I do have a sponsor for today's video. Echocalypse: The Scarlet Covenant is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi mobile strategy game where you, the Awakener, command a powerful team of kimono girls to restore order to the world. The gameplay is satisfying and fun, the story is immersive and compelling, and the artwork, oh guys, the character designs are insane. There's over 100 kimono girls, each with one of the most detailed, intricate, and voluptuous avatars ever known to mankind. I can't even show you some of the skins I'm currently showing you, so you gotta just take my word for it. This game has revolutionized fan service. And this week, the game's 1.5 year anniversary celebration begins with massive discounts on all these amazing skins, possibly the biggest sale of the entire year. They're also adding a brand new hero named Rosabelle, as well as her oath outfit. Oathing is basically when you marry a girl, and there's countless options, but I think I've decided that I'm gonna marry Rosabelle for the following 2 reasons. Anyway, you can experience the game yourself and celebrate the 1.5 year anniversary event by downloading Echocalypse: The Scarlet Covenant right now with my link in this video's description, and the first 100 people to use the code Echidnut614 will also receive the following gifts on the screen right now. Thank you again to Echocalypse for sponsoring this video. And now back to the tier list. The Children of Shiunji Family. This anime is about a family of siblings. There's 2 brothers and 5 sisters, and most of them don't want to fuck each other. Most of them. Kotono, the youngest sister, is romantically attracted to her older brother. She's trying to go full Game of Thrones on it, and her goal is to make her big brother put a 3-armed baby in her. So it's her birthday today, and their father has an announcement to make at the dinner table. This afternoon, I got the results back from Mori, and it turns out none of you are mine. You're all adopted, I don't love you, and happy birthday. So I guess now that they aren't related by blood, it's legally okay for Kotono to romance her older brother, but she was already trying to do that, so nothing really changed except now, the other sisters each want an inch of his dick as well. And bro ran out of inches like 4 sisters ago, so the drama ensues and there's a lot of crazy plot twists. This author is not great at storytelling, but he really cooks with the drama and I can't stop eating it up like the stupid rat I am. Just like in his other work, Rent a Girlfriend, a lot of dumb shit happens, like the pink sister runs away and climbs Mount Fuji Fuji because she thinks her brother will come and rescue her if he's really her soulmate. It's just absurd. It's like if the quintessential quintuplets had bad writing and incest. B tier. It's not good, but I would still recommend it because it's so damn entertaining. Can a boy-girl friendship survive? The answer is no. Alright, that's the tier list. Thanks for watching. See you later. Basically, these two friends, Himari and Yukun, are secretly in love, but they can't admit that because it would ruin their friendship. Except that doesn't stop Himari from teasing Yukun intimately. She's constantly hugging him, climbing on him, and whispering in his ear that she loves him, only to say just kidding afterwards. She also likes to lean in to kiss him, but then right before their lips are about to finally meet, she always pulls away at the last second and kicks him in the balls or something. The craziest thing she's done though was setting him up on a date with her friend Enomoto, and then a day later she changes her mind, steals him back, and betrays Enomoto. I'm honestly surprised that she hasn't faked a pregnancy yet, but there's still 2 more episodes. Anyway, I understand why most of you guys hate Himari. I get it. Sometimes she just makes you want to pull your foreskin over your face and scream into it. But guys, I love Himari, and I fucking love this anime. Himari is realistic because in reality, most people are selfish and immature. Not every blue-haired anime girl needs to be so perfect that the author has to erase her from memory. I'm sick of waifus always being perfect all the time. I want some flaws in my bitch. I've never seen a rom-com with a character like this before. It's a chaotic mess of tension and drama, and there isn't a fucking second of filler. Honestly, I've probably had more fun watching this anime than any other in the spring season, and obviously it appears that most of you disagree with me, so maybe I just have problems, but I don't think this deserves a 6.9, unless that's just a funny meme, but to me, it's at least an A-tier anime. Lazarus is a refreshing break from all the generic horseshit the anime industry likes to feed us, and to greatly oversimplify the plot, everyone on Earth will be dead in 30 days due to a disease, and only one man has the vaccine, except he's hiding it somewhere in an undisclosed location. It's not his ass. No, not even the government can find it. That's right, even in 2052, the government is still useless. I mean, we've got a woman president after all. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm sorry. I didn't realize 7% of you are women. That is 8 points higher than I thought it would be. Anyway, due to the current administration taking too long to get ready, it's now up to a special task force called the Lazarus Group to find the vaccine and save the world. Pretty interesting concept and fun characters, decent animation, and overall just a really solid anime so far. Unfortunately, there is a bit of political messaging randomly forced into the plot, and regardless of whatever your beliefs are, this shit is immersion breaking, it's distracting, and it's annoying. It doesn't matter if you agree with the message or not, this just isn't the place to push an agenda. I didn't really care personally, I still think it's a good show, but I understand that this will be a deal breaker for some of you that are more sensitive to politics, but aside from that, great anime so far. Hopefully the ending is good because that would change my ranking if it isn't, but as of today, I'm giving it A tier. Twins Hinahima is an anime about 2 girls making TikToks. A pretty average plot, so why exactly am I putting this piece of fucking garbage where it belongs in D tier? Well, have a look for yourself.
When I find Mariah Carey, I'ma beat her up.
When I find R. Kelly, I'ma beat him up.
When I find the Secretary of Defense, I'ma beat her.
This entire anime is AI generated, and honestly, I hate to admit this, but it's not that bad, and the characters are extremely cute, but just the fact that it's AI makes it automatically D tier. I don't like AI, and going forward, I won't be watching any other AI anime. The only reason I'm acknowledging this is because it's the first of its kind. Hopefully it's the last, but I doubt it. I think AI anime will probably become more and more prevalent, unfortunately, and that's fine because T-Bait was getting lonely down there anyway. Apocalypse Hotel is a cozy post-apocalyptic slice of life about the last functioning hotel that remains on Earth long after humanity went extinct. We don't know how exactly the apocalypse happened. I'm sure it had nothing to do with the woman president, but all the surviving humans launched themselves into space and haven't returned for hundreds of years, so the hotel staff are all robots, and the only visitors they ever get are aliens. And about the aliens, I will say, they absolutely nailed it with this first guy. He is exactly what I'd imagine an alien would be. Nothing about him makes any sense, everything he does is weird, and we get no explanation whatsoever. It's perfect. The main character is a cute robot who I feel bad for, honestly. I just want her to be happy, and she makes me feel like I was too harsh on that AI anime, but anyway, this is a solid, honestly it's an A tier anime, but I feel like we have too many of those, so I'm just gonna put it at the top of B tier instead. Kowloon generic romance is not generic at all. In fact, it's a one-of-a-kind anime. It's a mystery romance that takes place in a futuristic dystopian version of the Kowloon walled city, and it's got a retro nostalgic cowboy Cowboy Bebop type of vibe. Basically, the main character has amnesia, and she's just trying to live her best life without any memories from the past, but the problem is, everyone's kind of a dick to her. People treat her like an imposter in her own body, and even her boyfriend seems like he wants her old personality back. And to make matters worse, it seems like it's more than just simple amnesia. There's hints that it might involve some deeper shit. I don't want to spoil it, but goddamn, this anime is good. The music is phenomenal, the visuals, the vibes, everything's amazing. I hate cigarettes, but I kinda want to smoke one now because this anime gave them so much aura. I'm hesitant to call it a masterpiece though, because they plan on concluding the story even though the manga's unfinished, so that's kinda worrisome, but at this point I feel like even a bad ending wouldn't ruin the vibes this anime provided, so it's gonna be an S tier from me. Summer Pockets is a relaxing slice-of-life anime that kinda feels like a fever dream. It's about a guy who's overwhelmed by how quickly time passes in the city, and he just wants life to slow down a bit so he can enjoy the summer again like in his childhood. So he moves to a small island and makes some new friends who all seem to be slightly autistic. It's kinda trippy and mysterious, but the vibes are good, and I was fully prepared to grant this a generous S tier until episode 7 randomly introduced an existential crisis that honestly ruined everything. I can't tell you spoilers, but my god, I'm confused. I genuinely thought I was watching a normal slice of life, and now I'm questioning what's actually real or if anything matters. Apparently this is made by the same guy who did Angel Beats, Clanad, and Charlotte, so yeah, I probably should have expected some degree of emotional terrorism, but that's not the problem. My issue is how convoluted and confusing the explanation was. They really should have done that a lot better, but overall it's still an A-tier anime. A lot of A tiers this season. Bang Dream Abe Mujica is a bit of a different genre that I don't normally watch. It's not an idol anime, but it's girls in a band, so obviously the music is simply amazing, and there's also some really crazy plot twists and a lot of drama. Great characters as well, especially Sakiko. She was kind of the cause of a lot of the conflict in the previous season, but after this season, she's now my favorite character. Yeah, you don't have to watch all of Bandori to watch Abe Mujica, although I would highly recommend watching My Go because this is a sequel to that. Although in terms of vibes, it does feel like a different anime. It's way deeper, darker, and more psychological, while My Go was more about just forming a band. Really great anime though. I think for me, my favorite part of the anime was probably when they paid me a large sum of money in real life. Yeah, that was definitely the best part of the anime. S tier. Slime 300 Season 2. This anime is just wholesome slime genocide for girls. 7% of you would absolutely love this anime. Cute characters, funny stuff, pretty much the same as the first season except there's a beach episode for the boys. Not bad, but not really much else I have to say about it. C tier. Please Put Them On, Takemine-san is the new ecchi anime about a really attractive student council president who basically has the same power as Natsuki Subaru. She can repeat past events and change the future, which is how she always gets 100 on every exam, except instead of sacrificing her life, all she has to sacrifice is her underwear. And so she forces this kid to carry around extra underwear so he can put it back on her because... Anyway, it's just porn. It's hot, but it's bad. D tier. Apothecary Diaries Season 2. Yeah, remember guys, we are also ranking anime from the winter season as well because, as you know, I didn't make the winter tier list video. I was playing video games and watching ReZero. Anyway, Apothecary Diaries is probably in the top 50 anime ever made, so it's indeed time to add a new tier above the S tier. I will say, while this is still in God tier, I do think the first season was better. In case you're unfamiliar, it's an imperial Chinese soap opera starring all the emperor's concubines and the main character Mao Mao, who is adorably obsessed with poisons and medicine. And she uses this knowledge to solve mysteries and fix problems around the palace. Everything is borderline perfect, the character writing, the music, visuals, and even the humor is a lot better than you'd expect from an anime. Easy God tier, but you probably already knew that. Solo Leveling Season 2. Now, Solo Leveling gets clowned on pretty heavy for having no good characters, substituting a plot with aura, and winning every award in Crunchyroll's goofy-ass award show. The memes are accurate. If you held a gun to my head and told me, name one character from Solo Leveling other than Jinwoo, the next video might have to be delayed. However, while I also thought the first season was good but overhyped, Season 2 was a lot better, and I think it actually lived up to the hype. The animation absolutely popped off, and the entertainment value was higher than pretty much everything on this tier list right now. Solo Leveling Season 2 was absolute fire, and it had some of the craziest fights, best animation, and most annoying fan bases. God tier. Orb. Holy shit, are you kidding me? The winter season was so much better than the spring. This is insane. You guys kept telling me to watch Orb, and it took me forever, but I finally did, and holy shit. The premise is basically, it's back in the day when the church controlled everything. Science was seen as a fuck you to religion, so these inquisitors would torture and kill people for studying reality. And the story follows a lineage of astronomers who researched the Earth's revolution around the sun, and were later executed by the church and forgotten by history. Maybe that sounds boring. It's not. You just have to trust me. This anime grips you like a... Anyway, it's one of the best fucking anime I've ever seen, and it would be blasphemy against the church to put it any lower than God tier. Sakamoto Days was an anime with a pretty fun original concept that unfortunately didn't really do much with it. I don't know what it was, but I kinda just lost interest in the anime after a while. I guess it was kinda hard to take the fight seriously when the MC looks like a bag of milk, but I'm not blaming the anime. I'm aware that this is my problem. I didn't get invested in it, but that doesn't mean it's bad by any means. It's still worth a watch because I'm sure a lot of you will enjoy it, just maybe it's not for me. C tier. A Ninja and an Assassin Living Together is a new slice of death anime about cute girls committing cute murders. Unlike Sakamoto Days, this anime doesn't shy away from actually killing people, and these girls make murder look adorable. In fact, I think we should legalize all crimes if the suspect is cute. Or hot. We do get some classic Studio Shaft camera angles. And fan service aside, which I do appreciate, they did a really good job with everything else too. Honestly, this feels like Studio Shaft took a C-tier anime and turned it into a B-tier, maybe even an A-tier anime. Re:Zero Season 3. Medaka Kuroiwa is Impervious to My Charms is an anime about a girl named Kawaii who's always been the center of attention her entire life. She's so popular and attractive that everywhere she walks, people just stop what they're doing and stare at her. Everyone except for a man named Medaka Kuroiwa. He doesn't care. In fact, he's kind of an asshole. She tries to say good morning to him, and he's like, fuck off. And for some reason, that turns her on, and thus the premise of the anime is basically her quest of making him like her. She tries lifting up her shirt, bouncing her ass in his face, and she even whips out her titties at one point. But none of it works, and eventually she realizes, maybe there's more to my self-worth than just my ass and my titties. Yeah, that's right. My vagina! This anime is just a dumb bitch objectifying herself to try to seduce a guy she doesn't even like. And I don't know why it has the comedy tag, because you could probably find more humor at a family member's funeral, but overall, just like the main character's only redeemable quality, this anime is ass. D tier. To Be Hero X. This is a really great new superhero anime. Honestly, I'm giving it S tier. A lot of people just outright refuse to watch anything that's CGI, but this anime is fire and you're missing out. After like 2 minutes, the CG doesn't even bother you anymore, and they switched up animation styles pretty frequently like Arcane. I made a whole video talking about this, which you can go watch, but yeah, really good animation, story, characters, and humor. Definitely S tier. Zenshu was a really charming isekai with a female main character who used to be an animator. And by the way, Kazuma is definitely the reigning champion for most embarrassing isekai death, but this girl gives him some competition because she died by eating a clam. That's like dying to a mud crab in Skyrim. Imagine being the one sperm out of millions that made it to the egg, and all it took to kill you was a clam. Anyway, because she was an animator in her past life, her ability allows her to draw shit to help her win fights and stuff. And the animation is obviously really good. I like the main character a lot. Unfortunately, you don't get to see her face very often, but when you do, it's beautiful. The plot is kind of stupid at times though, like there's a character who is literally Thanos. Actually worse, Thanos only killed half the people. This girl tried to kill everyone, and in the same episode that she tries to end humanity, she is fully redeemed and forgiven, and then after that nobody addresses it and just pretends it didn't happen. Good anime, but kinda dumb sometimes. B tier. My Happy Marriage is an anime adaptation of something called a book, which is similar to a light novel, but a bit heavier, I guess. It's about a very happy marriage featuring the main character whose name is Happy Woman. She's actually one of the happiest womans ever. Look at how fucking happy she is. This anime is really good, but I just find it comical how every plot point only exists to make the main character suffer. She just minds her own business and does nothing wrong, and yet every female character is jealous of her and wants her to die, and pretty much every male character just thinks women only exist to blow them and fold shit. There's an excessive number of horrible people in this anime, but it looks great visually and the plot is compelling too. A lot of A tiers this season. Windbreaker Season 2 is even better than the first season. If you haven't heard of this anime, it's like if Tokyo Revengers had better writing, although it still suffers from the same goofiness where adults just don't exist. None of these kids have parents, there's no police anywhere, no security guards. Basically, all of Japan is ruled by these teenage delinquent gangs, and you kinda have to suspend your disbelief to enjoy it, but goddamn is it entertaining. It's kinda like the UFC. I just love watching fights and wondering who's gonna win. Also, the music fucking slaps. You could import this whole soundtrack to your gym playlist and you'll probably hit a PR. A tier, or somewhere between A tier and S tier. It's really good. I highly recommend it. Also, this anime reminded me that I forgot to watch Fire Force.
As violent as always.
Yeesh! My man has got some serious fire in those feet.
According to my friends, Fire Force Season 3 is a banger, but unfortunately, Fire Force is that one anime that I never really gave a chance. I liked the first season, but just never continued it for some reason. Thus, I cannot rank this, but I'm guessing you guys are probably watching it, so please let me know in the comment section where you would rank it. Finally, 100 Girlfriends Season 2. This anime is about a guy named Rentaro who has 100 soulmates who will die if he doesn't date them, so he's the literal opposite of Regulus. There's a lot of references and fourth wall breaks and really good comedic dialogue that actually makes you laugh. It basically just feels like a harem anime that was written by an actual human with a brain, which is the biggest compliment I've ever given to a harem anime. Just to fully immerse myself though, I went and got myself 100 girlfriends in real life, and this anime is C tier. Everything I just said in that last sentence was a lie. It's S tier, I'm maidenless, and that's the fucking tier list. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe because I always make a new tier list every season, unless I don't. Honestly, this spring anime season was pretty fucking weak for once. The winter season was straight fire and the summer is looking even better, but it's been a while since we've had such a lame spring season. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Thank you for watching. I'm out for now. Peace.